What is virtue ethics and what does it have to offer our human predicament? Good morning. My name is Father Frank Buckley. I am delighted to be your host for the morning meditation group, Flourishing During Times of Uncertainty. Good morning. Happy Thursday. Today is going to be a great day, even in spite of many challenges. In the middle of a pandemic, systemic racial problems, and fires around much of California and Oregon. And yet, in the middle of all of this uncertainty, we come together with faith that morning practice makes a difference in our life. This is a three-part program. If you're new to the program, the first part is a little inspiration. This morning I will be drawing from Father Gerald Fagan about virtue ethics and what it has to offer the modern person. The second part is the heart of the program. It is our 20-minute silent meditation where we give this 20 minutes to God. We turn the attention inwards, drop down, and enjoy a little deep rest. We get out of the box. And the last part is a very simple Jesuit examine, noticing during times of uncertainty, challenges as well, and most importantly, noticing where God has come alive in our own everyday ordinary lives recently. So to begin this morning, I started with the question, what is virtue ethics? And virtue ethics turns the question, who am I, on its head and focuses on a more important question. Who is the person I want to become? And I choose virtue ethics this morning because I think what we are given an opportunity through a contemplative life is to get out of the box, to become the person we most deeply desire to be. And I've tried a lot of routes, trust me, but none of them have I found as helpful as having a morning practice. I am delighted you are here with us. Let's get into it. So this is what Father Fagan has to say about virtue ethics. Oh, and this is in relation to the spiritual exercises of St. Ignatius of Loyola, a saint very familiar with what it is like to be caught in the box. To develop this interpretation of the spiritual exercises, this book mines the insights of a contemporary movement in moral theology called virtue ethics. Virtue ethics contend that the real question of ethics is not what should I do, but rather who should I become? Let me repeat that again. It might be the most important line in the whole book. Virtue ethics contend that the real question of ethics is not what should I do, but rather who should I become? It is concerned with fostering the virtues necessary to live a Christian life of love of God and service of neighbor. For one called to discipleship, this means putting on the mind and heart of Jesus and loving as Jesus loved. Ignatius of Loyola wanted people to be committed to love and serve the divine majesty in all things. In the chapters that follow, the spiritual exercise outlined by Ignatius will be related to some of the virtues that define this kind of person. This does not imply that there is a rigid link between certain exercises and certain virtues. The connections are meant to be suggestive only. My purpose is to provide a way of naming the graces that are at the heart of the movement and dynamic of the exercises. I also wish to articulate the desire elicited by the exercises in the language of virtue. Ask for what you desire is a maxim of Ignatian spirituality. This book will relate those desires to the virtues so that we live out of these graces and make decisions on them. The purpose of this book is not to propose a new way to make or give the exercises. Rather, I hope to propose a new way of understanding the graces of the exercise and their formative power in a person's life. I want to show how the exercises are an invitation to become a certain kind of person, a virtuous person who takes on the qualities of Christ's heart, and a person who can love one another as I have loved you. Thank you, Father Fagan. Not about what we do, but who is the person we want to become. And at the heart of the exercises is really developing a heart that is able to imagine precisely this. I cannot think of how in the world a person could even begin to do this without a morning practice, a contemplative stance. So, take your shoes off, place your feet on the ground, get comfortable, turn off all technology, and I'm going to lower the lights. You don't have to worry about the timer. I've got us covered. I've got it. Oh, not an hour and 20 minutes, just 20 minutes. Who knows? Maybe one day we'll do a sesshin with a little longer practice. But for now, let's focus in the middle of these fires, in the middle of systemic racism, in the middle of unemployment, in the middle of hungry people, in the middle of a pandemic and everyone running around in masks. These are not ordinary times. Things are changing. And in the middle of this, we can have a beautiful experience with God. So I invite you to turn the gaze inwards. You can lower the eyes or close the eyes, something that feels comfortable to you. Place your feet on the ground and let's begin. Listen, listen. The sound of the bell returns us to our true home. As always, we begin with diaphragmatic breathing, 3 deep breaths into the lower belly, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Together, inhale and exhale. Beautiful. 2 more times. Inhale and exhale. Bringing oxygen to the brain and the body. Last time, give it all you got. Inhale and exhale. Take the attention to the body. Feel the soles of the feet pressed onto the green earth and know that the earth may be trusted. Relax the shoulders. Let go of anything you've been holding on to. Just come into the moment. Take the attention to the forehead, the area between the eyebrows, the seat of intuition. Let's focus on an intention for this morning's exercise. St. Ignatius would suggest asking God for what we most deeply desire in this moment. being courageous enough to ask God for something great and beautiful. We'll seal that intention with an inhale and exhale. Take the attention to the breath. Engage your sacred word a few times. Drop down and enjoy a little deep rest. Please continue. Gently bring your attention back to the room. Wonderful job, everyone. If your eyes were closed, open the eyes. Let's circle the wrists. Bring the attention back to the body. Shake out anything you've been holding on to. Excellent, excellent job. A little experience in our morning practice, if maybe just a moment of getting out of the box. And what I'd like to invite you to, as you go through the rest of the day, when we find ourselves getting back into the box and it's comfortable and it's familiar and sometimes even cozy, we can always return to the breath, step out of the box, and come into the present moment and experience a little slice of heaven in our very challenging world. So, wonderful job. If you're new, congratulations for showing up. One of the things I have discovered or found over many years of practicing is this is almost impossible to do by yourself. I guess there are a few hermits maybe in the Himalayas who accomplish it, but for the majority of human beings, it takes a community. And if you're here this morning, in my humble opinion, you come across one of the best communities in all of Hollywood, virtually for moving in the direction of what Ignatius called becoming a contemplative in action. And another little tool he used for this was the Ignatian Examen. Socrates said the same thing: the unreflected life is not worth living. So we just take a moment before jumping back into our day to just notice where God has come alive for us recently and to cultivate a little gratitude for that. So for me, clearly this morning it's on mute, but so much beautiful traffic and noise here. When I pulled up this morning, there was a line on Selma of people getting ready to get a little snack and a little coffee who are living on the streets during these very challenging times. And as I looked at that line, I saw a group of them who at 11 we do our Flourishing and Recovery group, which is for people on the streets struggling with addiction. And we do it on the patio and we practice physical distancing, but socially connected, really believing that the opposite of addiction is connection. So it really made me very happy. It's almost, when I see that line, it's as if I could scoop Jesus out of the air, that there's a chance, there's an opportunity for people living on the streets to get out of the box and to experience what Thich Nhat Hanh calls the miracle of mindfulness. So I'm looking at all of you. Thank you for joining us this morning. Uh, Please feel free to put your comments in the box where you've noticed God come alive. If you're new, just your name and where you're joining from. And looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Have a beautiful day and God bless you.